You got this one now. Look at the size of the nuchal hump on that male. He's only about 2.5 inches long, and you've got his female there. He spawned once. I pulled the fry. The second lot I was going to leave in there with them, but the male, I think it was the male, ate the eggs. Well, not the eggs, but once they hatched the wigglers. I just want you to see the side of him so you can see the size of the head on this fucker. You know what I mean? It's got like the same sort of hump on his head as like a Costa Rican Dover. But yeah, these are Rio del Oro wild caught Isuanum. They're a capote, like Dover, bean eye, and you know what I mean. And what's the other one? Gramodis, the true piscivores. All they live on in the world is fish. So it's just the angle this is looking at is making it look like the fish has got boss eyes. But yeah, I'm gonna try and make him turn so you can see the size of the head. He's got a proper hump on his head, mate. This male. The female's in full breeding dress. The male's in breeding colours. Every time I turn, this prick turns with me. Yeah, that's him now. And the colours on that. There's the female just darted into the other pot. But these are aggressive, like Gramodis and bean eye. They're little bastards. But I'm keeping these. The bean eye. That's another 4 foot. I've got this 4 foot here, and then another 4 foot directly behind it, which I've got the bean eye growing out in. They've got up to like 3 inch now. And then so 1 second. Here's the Cubans. This is the RTMs, Red Tiger Motors. They're like a miniature version of a Dover. There's the female. Very nice colouring, but I'm done with the Parachromis species. I've literally bred all of them. I've got another one there. As you can see, that in there is a Gramodis tank. I've had to put him on his own in a little 2 foot because, as you know, in the wild they're the only cichlid that would be in the vicinity of where they would be, so they don't play nicely. That one now is a Parachromis multifasciatus. It used to be called the Friedrichsthalie or the Yellow Jacket. This is a Pantelos, I'm trying to remember the catch location, but this is a quota order that went to Germany, and then from Germany to Essex, and then from Essex to Mitcham to a right nice fella I met for the fish. But it's the same place that sorry, I've got the baby visiting today. So yeah, that's the flav there. They're half getting big now. The Freddy has to be over 6 now, 6 and a bit. And some of these flavs now are about 5 inch. You see some of them got right nuchal humps on them as well. The mad thing is with these, the females get really pronounced nuchal humps as well. But yeah, this is although this is quite a nice setup, it's got a 4 foot aqua sky on the top. It's like, it's not just like stretched out with the arms, it's the full 4 foot one. So I've got that. I've got a fluval external filter, and I've got a power filter, like an internal one, just for more water turnover, and I've got well, it's 2 sponge filters stacked together. These ones are made by the same company, they clip together. So you've got the one air pump pumping it through 2 sponge filters, and I've got a single over there. It's just because of the fact there are grow outs in this tank, a lot of them, so as much as there's diver fish in it as well, for my breeding projects, a lot of them are grow outs, so they need to be fed regularly, otherwise they start eating each other, which is, you wouldn't think it would be the case. You'd think it would be the Cuban or the Paracrimis, the multi, but it's actually the flavs that, the minute, if they're not fed every 6 to 8 hours, they will find the smallest fish in the tank and just literally strip it apart. So yeah, there was some RTMs in there. Like I said, I'll give them to play to people, but I won't actually sell them on, because my whole thing is I want to build my, you know what I mean, my selling point on it being with any fish I get, that if I can't get wild caught, I'll get F1s or F2s where possible. Things like the bean eye, because you've got people getting F1s and then breeding the F2s, then spawning the F2s, so that the people they're selling them to are getting F3s, which F3 is the last sort of ideal that you'd want to have. Once you get past that, that's when it's you run the risk of seeing different, you know what I mean, characteristics you may not see on the wild caught ones. But to be fair, majority of the time the difference between 3 and 4 is totally unnoticeable. So like I said, you might need to do more culling if the higher the F you go up, higher away from wild caught you go. But like I said, with my bean eye, for example, they're F3s. When I bred them, they're F4s, and they'd come out just as good as the parents. So yeah, I did have the Ramodis in there, but like I said, they come from waterways where there's no other competition for cichlids and that for them, so they don't play nicely. So he's actually in that pipe there. But where the pellets I was chucking in would be annihilated by the amps and Paracrimis and Nandopsis before he'd get a chance to. What I started doing is well, basically all I could do was to take him out of the tank, because I noticed that the Paracrimis multifasciatus had bite marks around his face. It's like as though he tried to go into the pipe where the Ramodis was, and the Ramodis wasn't having any of it, because there's no marks on the Ramodis whatsoever. But yeah, they really are nasty fish. But yeah, it's the weekend, so it's my normal sort of husbandry time. I'll have a couple of beers, get stuck into the tanks, and start doing some more videos, I think. But I'm going to be changing the whole format of the way I do things. I'm going to actually be going on camera very shortly. But yeah, there's going to be there's a few people to do. I won't say anything, because there's a few spiteful people who try and put a spanner in the works of things for me. So people get jealous of your, you know what I mean, breeding success. So they start slagging into people, so saying, oh, this, you know what I mean, your fish isn't up to par and all this. It's like, okay, but the fish come from you. That doesn't seem to sink in, but anyway, I could be all day sitting there explaining the ridiculousness of it. But anyway, back to the fish. Yeah, the Cubans are a definite keeper for me. They're going to be going into, this is what I mean about getting a bigger tank. I'm going to get the 2 metre tank, and it's going to get, it's 2, I think, it's 2 metre by 2 by 2, I think that one is. So the beam eye will go into that. The way it was set up, I want to confirm, I think I know who it is that made the tank, and it's a really expensive custom make, but I want to actually confirm that before I actually say the name. But if it is what I think it is, and I've got every reason to believe that because I had a custom cube made by him before, and it's the exact same silicone, the glass, everything is the exact same in the way it's been done. So once I've confirmed that, and once I bought the tanks, because if I say that, then people will understand how much they're worth, and I might miss out on them. So yeah, I'm gonna go and put a deposit down tomorrow on that 2 metre one. Put the beam eye in there on their own, and this pair here, and my Islam. I'm literally gonna do not so like a biotype to an extent, but it wouldn't be like that in the world anyway. How I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna have literally complete and utter rock sort of, you know what I mean, cave works going through it with slate and that over the top, so the larger fish can't get into it. And I'm gonna have the Islam in there, and 3 Cubans, a male and 2 females, because they were fine when they was in a bigger tank, keeping the 2 females together, because he spawned with both of them at other ends. So it's just when you start putting them in 4-foots and that you encounter problems, because it's just not big enough really. It is if it's a single pair, but even then the males can get really rough on the female, because they only chase them up for so long, and then as long as they can dart into sort of cover, they're left alone. But so yeah, I'm gonna be getting rid of all the flavs. I'm gonna be getting rid of the multi. I'm gonna be getting rid of the unfortunately the RTMs, because I've got to get rid of some tanks, but I'm replacing them with just a few good big ones. So what I'm thinking is getting rid of a lot of the small tanks. So like I said, the RTMs are too big to mix. They would literally probably end up killing the other fish they're in with. The Cubans, to an extent, they chase for a while, but they don't chase, like, you know what I mean? It's not like with Parachromis where they'll be sitting there constantly trying to dig the other fish out and dig the rocks out and that. But these, as soon as they chase them, I've had them before where I've put them in communities, but so as long as they chase them and the other fish darts out of the way, they leave them alone until the next time they see them. But I mean, I know it's not ideal, but I might use a divider at the beginning, but I'm going to have, like on the 8-foot, I will have, say 5-foot of it for the Cubans, and then the other 3-foot, I'll have 2-foot of it for the Islam, because they're only 2.5, 3 inch and maybe 2 inch, yeah, for the male and the female. And then there's a male on his own, he's probably about 2.5 inch. Just I don't want to put that yet until their bond is a lot stronger than it is, because the bonding with things like Gramodis and Islam isn't the most solid anyway, so I don't want to put them out too soon. But and then the other foot, 2 by 1, 2 by 2 by 1, will have the Gramodis in there in his little pipe. So I'm going to leave them so they all get sort of to know the rock work inside out. And then because I've had the Gramodis in with flavs that are smaller than Islam, and he hasn't touched them, so I've offered this one feeders and he don't take them. The only thing he seems to take with relish is earthworms, and he will take cichlids as well, but the carnivore ones, the massive or the lights here, he won't take any floating pellets. I mean, he probably will if I starve him, but I don't. There's no need to do it, and I've got enough different kinds of pellets anyway. So yeah, so the 8-foot is going to have Cubans, Islam and Gramodis in it. But I mean, it is an 8-foot tank, so there's plenty of room for them in there. None of them are bigger than, I mean, what's the biggest one? It'd be the male Cuban, which at a push is 10 inch. And he's not like this fish is only probably 11 or 12 inches, but he's so much thicker. This fish still hasn't finished growing yet. I mean, he's still growing as we speak, but he's just growing very slowly. But I think it's where he was he's bred so many times. Same with the females. But I mean, the large end of you know what I mean, the scale of what these get to is a foot anyway, so at 10 inches he's not exactly a small Cuban, but yeah, he's a fair size. But like I said, he's growing. Just, I think what it is, when you breed fish when they're young, although they still grow, I think they grow a lot slower and it takes them longer to reach their full potential. But I've also changed the way I keep fish as well, because I try to give them seasons, not extreme seasons, but seasons nonetheless. And it does, I do notice a marked improvement with breeding success and all that, and using the lightning setting and that on your lights, and then doing a cool water change, mimicking nature, what it would be when the rainy season starts and you get the thunder and lightning, and then you get the cool waters running down from the mountains into the rivers and lakes. So yeah, it's I don't use heaters. I have got them on some of my more sensitive fish, but I mean, there's one in this tank with the RTMs, but that was not for these. This was from when I had been in there. I had some of my, I had my spare, well, not my spare, but my smaller pair that I had that I sold. I had them in there, but this tank, there's no heater in it. And in the summer it will go up to 30 because I can't help it, that's just what my property gets to. And then in the winter it goes down to maybe 72 because I still have central heating in the place, but I don't have it on so hot like that because I've got you know what I mean, a huge electricity bill in the tanks anyway. Not so much now since I've moved the marine tank. So yeah. So the only reason as well, it's not like these are even that hard to breed. What it is, they're in constant demand. Yeah, I know the catch location. It could be fake, but like I said to you, the person it's come from and I screenshot everything from it is telling me it was that. So unless they're